Hey, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. And a Happy New Year to that ass. It's the day after Christmas, but better late than never. I had freaking insomnia last night because I hadn't fucking worked out strenuously in 2 days. Mistake number one. But I feel pretty good. Feel pretty good regardless. Anytime I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I think about freaking old Sheiky baby over here on YouTube. Dude sleeps less than a freaking, I don't know, sick baby. And still kills it. Yeah, I figured I'd do a little, freaking year in review kind of thing, you know what I mean? Kind of look back on accomplishments and bullshit, ramble about whatever. And also get a little morning sunshine and, walk around a bit, let the morning back pain subside, which for some reason has gotten worse this past week. Probably because I've been kind of a little more lazy, laying around and playing video games and all that dumb shit. Gotta stay moving, man. And if there's one takeaway from this year of training, it's that movement truly is freaking medicine, dude. In general, I've had very little pain this year. No injuries. Maybe a little elbow tweak here and there, a little bit of back tweak here and there, but nothing that took more than a week to pretty much get back to baseline normalcy, So nothing really serious at all, which is fantastic. Probably my least injurious year of training so far, and probably my most intense year and most successful year of training so far, at least in terms of improving my climbing prowess. Or bouldering, I guess, kind of a... It's hard to call myself a rock climber, and I'm out here climbing fucking, 10 foot, fucking pebbles or whatever. But it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, my finger strength has skyrocketed. At first, my endurance was what skyrocketed, and earlier in the freaking year, I did complete my long-term as fuck project. Took me 8 months, I think, of specifically projecting it to finally clean up the movement, figure out the most efficient way to do it, and then do the damn thing. I'm talking about, of course, the ultimate, right? And fast forward 4 or 5 months later, something like that, my good buddy Caleb also completed that project, so shout out to him. We now have first and second ascent and confirmed grade of V8, or simply put, hard as fuck. And I think that'll be probably the hardest line in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for a while, until they figure out there's an extension, or kind of a harder variation of that problem. It's probably V9, maybe V8 plus, I don't know, but harder, There's also kind of a secret project. It's probably even harder too. But you know, it's like 1/3 of the hand moves. You can probably complete it in like 20 seconds. Whereas you're on the ultimate for a minute and a half, 2 minutes under tension. Barely any space to shake out, you know? So that was the main thing, was, you know, super excited that myself and my friend finished that boulder problem. So if you're in the Tuscaloosa area, go to Hurricane Creek, go to Peace Cave, check it out on Mountain Project. If you want beta, you know what I mean? That's why I'm putting video up. If you need to see how it's done, you got 2 different versions. Kale and I both did it a little bit differently. The next person might do it a little bit differently too, but it's always good to see how it can be done, and then kind of, you know what did Bruce Lee say? You know what I mean? Like, take what's good, fuck the rest. Ad-libbing a bit, of course. So that was the main thing I was happy to complete this year in terms of climbing or whatever. And then also do the strength training that I hammered in the past, like, 4 months, give or take. Just blew up my hand strength. I mean, I hung from 25 millimeters, which is slightly less than 1 inch, with one arm for about 7 seconds, either arm. Huge improvement in my hanging and crimping ability. You know, it's hard to truly objectively measure, you know, the strength gain in terms of like direct climbing improvement, but in terms of my ability to lift a weight off the ground by my fingertips, my strength went up like something fucking crazy, like 47% or something. In the year prior to this, guys, my finger strength only improved like 10%, so that's fucking insane. I will say that, you know, I was thinking for a while, though, isometrics are it. They're like the way to get stronger. For grip especially, for finger strength, and tendon and joint strength especially. And I still believe that, but I think, like any kind of style of training, it does get stale. So, you know. For 2 months, that was pretty much all I did, practically daily. I could tell maybe I was getting some diminishing returns, which is normal. So I switched it up and did lifting and hanging for time. Got a little bit more out of that, and then when I switched back to isometrics, I didn't really feel like they were working quite as well as they were, especially after the first week returning. So my plan this month was to get back in isometrics daily, but literally after 1 week, I could feel it was growing stale and that maybe I was actually going backwards in strength. So I went ahead and said, fuck it, you know. Pretty much stopped training my fingers other than climbing. And I've spent a ton of time doing just floor exercises like yoga and gymnastics type shit. Body rolling, been using the Yamana balls, been using the foam rollers. I am feeling loosey-goosey, as they say. Loosey freaking goosey. And I think that has really helped my vertical climbing, especially because I'm getting into positions that I could not get into before. My movement feels a lot more clean, and even on like a slight overhang, like 10 degrees or so, it still feels like I'm using almost entirely my legs, you know, unless I'm doing like a big jumpy move kind of thing. We're having to lock off hard, obviously, but, you know, in terms of like holds in close vicinity, I feel like I'm using all hips and shoulders, which is how it should feel, you know what I mean? If you're doing it right. So, shoulders are getting more flexible, hips getting more flexible, core getting stronger. You know what I mean? The six pack or whatever is coming back. Look, I'm not even flexing right now. And you can see. You know what I mean? The tone is returning. Oh God, ugh. My body wasn't ready for the contraction. I'm a little sore today. I always wake up a little fucked up in the midsection. I don't know if I need like a new bed or pillows or what, you know, mattress. Or just because I hadn't moved a whole lot in the past 2 days, but my abdominal pain, back pain in general has definitely increased this week. But anyway, guys, what else, man? I don't even fucking know. I've been crushing here in Georgia so far. I think I've climbed like 4 V5s, 2 V6s. I want to say like 7 or 8 V4s, probably the same number of V3s. And then just, you know, a fuck ton of like V0 to V2s. And it feels good. Like, I'm already kind of at a level now where I can go to pretty much any crag, and there's enough boulders there between like V0 to, let's say, V5 that I can do in like one session, you know? And that's cool, just to have the strength and capability right now and skill in general to kind of like, you know, do some things in one try. Like I've done up to like, I think I've done up to like V4 in one try now. You know what I mean? They call it a flash in climbing. I've done some V5s in 2 tries. I did like a V6 in like 4 tries. So I'm getting up there, you know what I mean? And some of these places are pretty sandbagged too, so who knows, you know, what a fucking V5 or a V6 is elsewhere. Could be more like a 7 or something. So definitely getting stronger, definitely feeling like the boulder fields, the crags are more of a playground for me now, and not so much like I'm just killing myself to do like a fucking V3 like it used to be. So that's a great feeling. What else, man? I don't even know. My endurance was crazy when I was like training for the ultimate. Now the boulders around me are the exact opposite. They're like, you know, 1 to maybe 7 hand moves typically. So my endurance has taken a hit, but my strength is way higher. My flexibility and mobility is way higher. You know, my leg strength in general has improved a lot. I trained myself back to be able to do an unassisted Nordic curl. I've not really taken that training that seriously. I kind of just wanted to get back to that kind of baseline level of like, okay, I have the strength to do this. Do I really need to train it that often? Not really. You know, there's only so much strength that's even relevant. You know what I mean? I think it's fine to have, like, if you're an athlete, you know, it's not just a strength athlete. I think it's fun to have benchmarks to hit and then just maintain that for a while. Because otherwise, you're just doing strength training constantly and beating yourself up constantly and taking away from the energy that could be used and put toward, like, actually doing your fucking sport, you know? I also unlocked, I didn't quite get back to the pistol squat strength that I had earlier in the year when I did the 50-pound pistol squat with the vest. But what I have unlocked, and I've never done this ever, is the heel raised free balancing pistol squat. And I've got a video somewhere, my friend filmed it. He just hasn't uploaded it to our shared drive yet, so when that is uploaded, I'm gonna edit all those videos, have some stuff on the Adventure Athlete channel, and also just have, you know, maybe a short or two showing that pistol squat, because that was pretty insane that I could do that. And from like a balance standpoint, ankle strength and mobility standpoint, and also just, you know, knee capability, going way, you know, past the freaking toes there on one leg. Gotta say, I kind of impressed myself on that one, so pretty sweet. I'm sure climbing has also helped evolve that skill from over time. It's pretty much what you're doing constantly climbing. It's like you're doing pistol squats on like one toe, you know? With a little, ooh, get a little hot going. Y'all hear that? Very cool. Little assistance from the upper body, obviously, but you know, the more you can pretty much do a pistol squat off of your tip of your toe, the less you gotta use your upper body. You know, especially on like vertical or slab climbs. Anyway, I don't know, man, that's probably about it. You know, it's been a pretty fucking good year. You know, I moved out here to Georgia. Wife got a better job. I'm training people more. I'm doing kind of like what I've always wanted to do. You know, it kind of sucked earlier in the year because I lost my fucking job. I worked for the USDA as a contractor, and of course Trump's dumbass, or really Elon Musk, his fucking ass, came in and was like getting rid of every contract fucking indiscriminately. Fuck all of y'all. So me and my coworkers lost our damn jobs out of nowhere. But fuck it. You know what I mean? Blessing in disguise type shit. I'm fucking training people. I'm making far less money. But whatever. Who gives a fuck, you know? You know, I'm still out here fucking surviving. And I'm a lot happier than I used to be. And money, I'm not gonna say money can't buy you happiness, but it's not necessary, you know? It's not necessary for happiness. And that's a lesson I fucking learned this year. Anyway, y'all keep crushing out there. Merry Christmas. Happy fucking New Year. Keep crushing. Yeah, peace.